All right, Lynea Carver's here with her #1 badge.
I like to be number one.
You are #1. Thanks
Absolutely.
for thanks for joining me and doing this today. So yeah, I think just for everyone watching, I want to give everyone a quick introduction of who Lynea Carver is.
Well, I am born and raised Washingtonian, Greater Pacific Northwest over here. I'm actually in the market just south of Seattle. I'm in like the Bonnie Lake, Lake Taps area. We have about 75,000 people in this area. And it's absolutely beautiful. I've been in real estate for 4 years. 4 years. Yes, 4 years. Sorry, I had to double count that. 4 years. But before real estate, I had spent 12 years in retail, different things, anywhere from sales all the way into like writing processes. So I have kind of like a really strong sales and process background. Before that, I actually worked in the mortgage industry for 11 years back in 2008 and decided to get out of that for reasons beyond my control. And the fact that I actually hated mortgages, I didn't like it at all. And then 2008 came and they put all these regulations on it. I just was like, nope, I don't want to go to school to be a loan officer. So I didn't, I just quit. And then I went and did something else and came back into real estate about 4 years ago. So that's where I'm at.
Awesome. And where are you at production wise, roughly, for just so everyone can get some context there?
So in 2021, I closed 25 deals and did just over 15 million in sales. And this year I'll be just over 40, and my 40 transactions, and my goal is to do 25 million in sales this year. So that's,
yeah, on the up for sure.
I really want to net $1 million. That's my goal, is to net $1 million within the next 3 years. So
yeah, I don't say this that often, but I have no doubt in my mind you're going to do it. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah. I mean, it's like one thing to gross. I have no doubt that I can gross $1 million, but it's the net that really matters. So I want to net $1 million.
100%. Yeah, I'm with you there. So yeah, why don't you tell everyone? Obviously, we've been working together for what, a few months?
Yeah, since March, I believe. Like March, I think it was like March 13th or something like that.
Cool. So tell everyone like how you came across us, what it was like before working with us, and a little bit about what it's been like after that you've gone through our process at this point.
Okay, so for the first like big part of my business, I was I've always done video. Video has just always been my thing. So I had really focused a lot of my video on Facebook and Instagram, and have had massive amounts of success. Like I grew my business from, just working off of a few deals a year to where I was last year just on Facebook and Instagram alone. So it's super successful for me. But at the beginning of 2022, I really was like, okay, I need to, now that I've got those mastered, I really want to hone in on where I think business is really lying, which is like Google ads and YouTube. And YouTube, I've always known YouTube to be super successful for me, because without trying, I actually have this one video I put on YouTube back in 2019. And that one video netted me 6 sales, 6 listings, and didn't even ever have to do anything for it. Like I just spent the money the one time on the video, and that video has just netted me listings, because it's so niche, so area focused, so specialized. So I know there's a thing with YouTube. I know it's a thing. And I was just like trying to figure it out, trying to like do, have my VA, trying to do thumbnail. I mean, it was just so much formula, so many algorithms that go into YouTube. And quite frankly, I don't have time to learn all of that myself. So one day I don't know what I was Googling, but you popped up. Like you just kind of like showed up. And that was the same way I found my Facebook coach, was the same way, but just showed up. And all of a sudden I went down a rabbit hole. I was like, oh, what else has he got to talk about? Oh, what's this? And so then I like followed you over to Instagram, saw you on Instagram. I'm like, So then that's actually how I found you. Cause I didn't found you. You actually found me. So you found me by whatever video I was watching. I think you came up as like if you like this, watch this. And so that's how I found you.
The power of YouTube right there.
Huh?
The power of YouTube right there.
Yeah. I mean, and I will say, like, so my YouTube channel, I wanted my goal to grow my channel to be 250 subscribers by the end of half one of this year, was kind of like where I started out. I think I had like 201 subscribers at the beginning of the year, and I'm at 306 as of today. So it's definitely grown a lot faster. My watch time has gone up significantly. My organic reach has gone up significantly. And on top of that, I have been able to convert more of my Facebook leads because of my YouTube channel. I've had people who just now email me and say, hey, we see you on YouTube. We watched this video. They point to the specific video. We watched this video, and then we watched this video and this video and this video and this video. And I have 3 people that I'm actually working with right now that are specifically from YouTube.
The rabbit hole effect right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's cool because like when they find me on YouTube, they're already hooked on me. I don't even have to try at that point. They're just like,
Conversations are so much more fluid and meaningful because they're like, they already know what you're about. They already like you.
right.
You can kind of almost get down to business a little better.
It's a lot easier. They're already loyal to me. I mean, it's very different than like, so Google Ads is the other thing that I really wanted to get value from your program was, but the conversion rate on those are just different than the people coming directly from YouTube. So I definitely like the YouTube piece. That is the one thing I've been like, okay, that's where I have to be super consistent. So
yeah, and you've really leaned into using our so for anyone that doesn't know, in our program we have a video editing part of it, where we'll train your editors as part of it, or we actually have a service with our guy Jorge, and Lynea has actually really leaned into utilizing Jorge. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
I don't like to do anything that I don't know how to do. Like, to be honest, I'm really, really, really good at converting. I'm really good at negotiating. I'm really good at creating content. I am not good at video editing, and I'm not good at the creative thumbnail. I'm not good at any of that kind of stuff. Nor do I think that should be my specialty. That's not where the money comes from.
Okay.
So for me, I'm about utilizing leverage. I'm all about leverage. I mean, isn't that what it's all about? Leverage and ownership, right?
Ownership and leverage.
Ownership and leverage. I'm all about just having leverage. And I had gone a few different routes of having like my VA try to manage my YouTube channel, but it's a little bit different because he doesn't specialize in it. So while he did some cool things, it's just not the specialty. So I will say Jorge's been awesome. He has been, I after we had the first 1 or 2 videos we did, there was a lot of back and forth on kind of like what I'm looking for, him understanding my brand, understanding my personality, and he got it so fast. And now it's just like a little bit of like, oh, I noticed this is off, or like maybe some misspelling or something, but nothing major. And it's been phenomenal. I mean, I'm very proud of my YouTube channel now. Like, used to one of those things.
I'm proud of your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. I used to look at it and be like, yeah, I mean, I'm on YouTube, but I don't really do anything with it. But now I'm like, you should go to my YouTube channel. And I didn't even tell you this. My YouTube channel, just the way it looks and the content on it, has actually helped me recruit more agents to want to work with me now, because they see my content, they see my consistency, they see my system. So
yeah, I would say after Jorge helped with your branding, has been doing your videos and did all your brand assets for YouTube, it looks just cohesive is the word I would use. Like, it looks cohesive and professional. Before, there was a little like, I remember that was the thing we talked about in our first call, was like, you kind of had a lot going on up here and you were doing all these different things. And our goal was to really pull it all together in a cohesive way. And I think it kind of feels like that. And so I love that you've leaned into that. I also love that you've been able to dial things in and get business out of it, which is the big thing. And you said a couple of things that I want to point out, that like, you made a video in 2019 that generated 6 deals over the last couple of years. And that's one of the biggest things about YouTube I think people don't understand. So your content works for you for years. On Instagram, it works for you for days. 2 days usually.
With Instagram, like I mean, that's why they say, like, in order to grow Instagram, you have to post 2 to 3 reels a day, every single day.
Yeah.
And you have to keep doing that. And I mean, it's a lot of work. It's that's like a habit for me now to post regularly. But I mean, with YouTube, it's like I sit down, my schedule is, I've actually been able to be a lot more organized in my schedule and my time management. So I basically try to do like 1 big lead gen video a month. So the one I just put out was Seattle is dying, talking about like 7 reasons people are moving to Seattle. Finally got that video done, talking about 7 reasons people are moving from Seattle. And I mean, it's had, I don't know, something like 200 views and just like over the weekend. So I'm like, oh, that's cool, But so I try to do that. And then I try to do a little bit more like market updates, more like localized market, like something a little more on the national level, and then it's more local. And then I'll do like more of your conversion scripts that you have. So like how to write an offer, like things you should think about in negotiations, like try to get down into it. But I think before also I was kind of hearing people say I shouldn't only talk about real estate, but I'm like, but that's what I do. So why would I not want to talk about real estate? Because that's what I do. So
I think
I,
you should, mostly because, you know, YouTube ranks your channel as like it categorizes your channel, right? If you have vidIQ, you can see on the side when it says like top channels for this search term,
yeah,
it starts to recognize you as a real estate channel.
yeah,
Whereas I think on the traditional theory on Instagram is to throw a little bit of personal stuff in there. With YouTube, it's not like that because the algorithm is so different. It's a search platform instead of a, you know, just throw whatever you have at me algorithm platform, which such as Instagram.
So that's been like the big thing. So it was like the YouTube, and I don't know. I'm really happy with where it's gone. The fact that I've had like 102 subscribers this year, 52 since March is pretty big because, you know, I've had a lot of views, but it's the subscribers that matter.
So yeah, and I think subscribers are a metric that you know, people love in the sense that in Instagram, like it's really all about the followers. And I always like to look at YouTube as how many people have reached out to you as a metric.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the best metric because some people with low subscribers can have huge results, and like you don't have that many subscribers, but you've had pretty huge results from YouTube already, right?
Yeah.
And that'll grow over time. But a lot of your content is clearly resonating, and even these Facebook leads you said you've had by leveraging the video, I assume is what you meant. You've helped convert the leads from Facebook.
Yep. Just they come from my Facebook, whatever leads was I'm running through Facebook, and put them in my drip campaign, and then get them over to YouTube.
Yeah.
You can't promote YouTube on Facebook. The Facebook doesn't like that. They don't like you to promote YouTube.
Totally. And that's our whole strategy, is leveraging these videos and deploying them to build trust. And I think, you know, do you want to talk a little bit about the results you've gotten from the Google strategy we set up and how those two are working together?
Yeah. So, you know, going through and setting up my CRM follow-up boss, which I love, by the way, which was not my CRM before I came into this, and it is my CRM now. And now I probably will never switch it.
Everyone loves it after they see it and after they do it. It's funny. Everyone's like, oh yeah, your build makes a lot of sense. I didn't want to shift because they may have had a bad experience with it in the past, but it's good to hear.
Well, it's more like for me, because I have a team, you know, and we're virtual. We don't sit in the same office. We're virtual. And, you know, before I was having all my SOPs in one spot and the processes all like wherever I wanted to have them. Follow-up boss kind of gives me that one-stop shop for everything. So now like my admin can see it, my VA can see it, my ISA can see it, my buyer's agent can see it. So it's very team friendly. So that's why I like it anyway. So by setting up the drip campaigns through Follow-Up Boss, the way that you did, I mean, I went and reworded them a little bit, but I mean, just the drip campaigns alone, before I even had an ISA, okay? Before I had an ISA, I had 6 appointments within the first 2 weeks.
I didn't even know that. That's amazing.
Just from the drip campaigns.
That was from the Google ads.
That was from the Google ads. Yeah. Just
Google ads we set up coming into Follow Boss, leveraging our drip campaigns, which you reworded a bit, made your own, which is great. You had 6 appointments, and then walk us through what happened next.
So 6 appointments. I have closed 2 of them. I had one that was actually relocating here from California, and he's now pushed his timeline out a little bit, but he actually came up. So he came up here. We went and did a tour. We met in person. We talked like once or twice a week, and they kind of pushed their timeline out a little bit. Like they're not relocating as soon as they thought they were, but definitely still in the pipeline. I've had my buyer's agent has booked, I think 6 or 7 appointments from the leads that came from Google. And the great thing that both she and my ISA say, I would say she says it more than my ISA, but is that when they're calling people, it's not weird. Like they're like, because they're seeing my videos, they're seeing the follow-up, they're kind of seeing it, just like, that's why I love video. So it's not a weird call, if you will.
Yeah, you're kind of following up on a video instead of just cold prospecting like a lead who doesn't really know who you are. So I'm glad that's really been cohesive. Is the word we'll use for you. And how about the ISA side of things? Talk us through that.
So before I was using an ISA service, which is nice. I mean, But, when you have an ISA service, you're not their only client. They're not calling for you 24/7. It's just whenever they can. So I did hire an ISA, and he has been phenomenal. The onboarding process was super smooth. So I guess the sourcing process was super smooth. Onboarding process was nice to actually have like a backup person like to help with onboarding him. Was it Haley and Tatiana who were really helping with him. It's been pretty awesome. Having an additional training support for him has been super helpful. He's got David, he's got Julio. He's had a couple calls with Jeremy. Is it Jeremy? He's had a couple of private one-on-ones with Jeremy, which has been pretty awesome.
Cool.
So it's really nice. And on top of that, it's been really helpful to have like a support team, if you will, like, hey, I'm having an issue here. I need some coaching. I need some guidance here. And just being able to have that one-on-one support has been super helpful.
Yeah, I think that's the big thing. And just so everyone's clear, it's watching, Lynea is referring to our recruitment process for the ISA is where she got hers, and the training program that they're put through and the support that we offer that role. And I think as a team leader, you really feel that, because you get so busy. It's like, it's hard to build the structure we have inside your business when you can really just rely on like that process that we've already built. And so Jeremy, is the sales coach, and we've recently amalgamated the ISA training and the agent sales training into one to have more cohesiveness. I mean, the word of the day with that. So I'm just really excited about how this is all going to grow for you. Because it sounds like you've really got the infrastructure set up at this point. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, it's very fair. I mean, there's every day's learning, every day is growing, every day is improving. But we're definitely so far from where I started out this year. I'm actually about to bring on another buyer's agent. And I wouldn't feel so confident in doing that if I didn't have the database that I do, the systems that I do, the support that I do. I wouldn't feel confident about it, but I'm just about to bring on another one. So pretty excited about that.
Very cool. I love to hear that. Well, we got to get you to 1 million net, right? So
I need to do it fast.
Buyer's agents.
Well, the other thing that's nice is that like I'm actually going on vacation next week. I'm going to be going to North Carolina for a week, spending some time on the beach.
Ooh,
and
I love it.
Last year when I went on vacation, I was so scared that business was just going to stop, because it does when you go on vacation. But I will tell you, I don't actually have that fear right now. Right now, I have this like, okay, I mean, I've got 1,900 people in my database that my ISA and my buyer's agent can divide and conquer and just start trying to revive some of these leads, getting some of these leads converted. And it's not like they don't have anything to do.
This is my favorite thing that our clients say ever, because I think a lot of agents never build infrastructure around them to allow themselves vacation. But what you're saying is so important. Like, you now have people you can lean on that aren't you, that'll allow you to take a break.
Yep.
Like,
I went through my system yesterday, and I just I added a new pond of all the untouched leads. There were 712 untouched leads, people who have never been touched in my database. And I'm like, oh my God. So they're like ecstatic right now. My ISA and my buyer's agent, I'm like, ecstatic. We have 712 people we can call through. I'm like, yes, please do. Just pick up the phone and call them. So it's been
this is what leverage feels like.
Yeah.
It's like a great moment as a business owner when you feel leveraged like you do now. You're like, wow, I have people, I have cash coming in, I have systems, I have a pipeline. Like, it's such a great feeling, and it's hard to kind of like describe how that really feels, that sense of security and whatnot. So I really do think, Lynea, you're an embodiment of everything we teach in a lot of ways. And I'm just so happy that it's been, a positive experience. And when did you, another question, when did you break even with us is probably something a lot of people ask me, but it always varies per person, right?
Well, I would say, what was it? I think it was like 3 months. It took like 3 months to break even, just because that's the closing cycle, right? So it took like a month to find a house, a month to close. There we go. So
that's pretty typical. Usually I say like month 2 or 3 is kind of where it happens, depending on where the market is. We're in a long sales cycle business, but I think the real gold in this thing is in the, when you look at it in a 2-year lens.
Right.
Of where does it all go? Where does it all grow to? I think that's really the gold. So I guess that just a final thought, like what would you say to someone thinking about booking a call with us? Maybe they've consumed some content, maybe they've watched some of my videos, maybe they watched some of these testimonials, maybe they're on the fence, don't know if this is the right thing. What would you say to that person?
Well, it's same thing. I mean, I've already told people to join your program.
You
So,
refer us, yeah, a lot of people, I know that.
so I'll tell you, this is what I tell them. Listen, it's not a red pill or a green pill, or red pill or a blue pill. You don't just get to swallow a pill and all of a sudden it's magic, right? But what you have done that I haven't seen in a lot of other programs, and believe me, I'm like super into coaching. I love it. And I love coaching and I love programs and I like learning. So, but what you've done that I haven't actually seen is actually like created a system that is like almost a no-brainer. Whereas like, if they let you do your job, what you commit to doing, and then they do the follow-up, like it's almost a no-brainer. Like it literally, the only thing you really have to do, and this is where a lot of agents do have a hard time though, is pick up the phone. All you have to do is pick up the phone and follow up with people, because as long as you're doing that, you're going to have no problem. All you have to do is set some time aside and record your videos. It's not that hard. You even have the scripts in there. It's like, it's almost impossible to not have success, in my opinion, unless you are lazy and you don't want to work, then you won't have success. But there you go.
What I always say is like, we can only get you so far. We do everything for you. We can't. There's still things we can't do. That's got to be your role. And like, I think that's, as a coach, something we focus on a lot is accountability and teaching people that, you got to do the work and you can't be lazy, but we can set up the infrastructure so that it's easier for you to do that. So.
And I mean, I will say, I think you guys go on the line of, you kind of toe the line of being a coach and a consultant at the same time. Because like a coach just kind of like helps you set your goals and this, but you do that and you have some accountability there, but you also have that consultant thing where you're like, okay, this is what you do from A to Z. And me being a super like systems structured person really appreciates the, month 1, you should be here. Month 2, you should be here. And month 3, you should be here. And these are the things you have to do to get there. So that's what I tell people. That's
amazing. So any final thoughts before we go?
No, just thank you for everything. Thank you for the system. Thank you for your brain. Cause I have it in my brain too. I just don't have the gall to put it down on paper, and you actually took the next step and put it down. So thank you for doing all that, and for your team's awesome. So
that's amazing. Glad to hear. Well, thanks for doing this, Lynea. I really appreciate the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime.